I've just spent the last 2 hours test riding BMW's G310 GS motorcycle, the adventure touring version of a 310cc engine. This is my mini review about it. For the last 2 hours I spent some time in stop and go traffic, a little bit of highway, a little bit of twists up on a nearby mountain. So how did the bike do? Well, the bike is amazing for what it is. The 310cc engine or so is admittedly not the most powerful thing. It's not going to rip your arms out, but it's really friendly. It's really well accelerating. The throttle response is not conservative for what the 310 engine can do. This is moving tail, but the throttle is sensitive enough for when it comes to the adventure riding part of it, that you do hit gravel or dirt, that you can still have good control of the bike. I didn't go anywhere off-road riding, but the throttle response is set to be not aggressive, not grandfatherly, just right for city traffic, as well as slow going and balancing the bike, standing up on the foot pegs. The ergonomics of the bike is really nice. The handlebar to foot peg to seat ratio, I'm 6'1" with a 42-inch inseam, that's 181 centimeters in height. The bike is comfortable, not much weight on the wrist. When I stand up on the bike, the handlebars are low, so they need to be raised up a little bit. With handlebar rides, there's very easy adjustment to adjust the geometry to my torso length and arm length and whatever that necessitate that I up the handlebar a little bit. The motorcycle otherwise is comes with, let's see, single-sided disc brake. The disc brake is not Brembo. This is here you can see it here. It's Brandy's Vibri. If that shot is not too good, then here is this one. So that's the branding on it. Steel braided lines. It's nice. Motorcycle comes with a 3-year warranty. Nice. Service interval every 10,000 kilometers. Acceptable. Major services done at every 20,000 kilometers. Reasonable. It's got an oil filter sticking out at the front, a little bit of plastic bash plate that's mounted onto the engine itself. The frame does not have a cradle. You can't put it, and you shouldn't try to put it on on an enduro little stool that you could balance the bike. It's not going to work because you can see how this plastic is mounted here. It's just mounted with this bolt here with this spacer. So this is the bottom of the engine, and if you try to put it on here, this is how it's mounted with these 4 bolts. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is just gonna break. So it's not especially strong, and there is nothing on the underside of the engine. There is no cradle frame here. Bike comes with an ABS, and that's about it for electronics. I like the fact that the exhaust exits towards the rear. You can see the pipe leaving the engine there, which is nice because it's not gonna get bent from rocks that the front tire might be throwing up. Now I'm aware that BMW sells these bikes as urban adventure, and that's also why this is a cast aluminum wheel. So what they have in mind is that you never go on a dirt road or off-road or whatever. You just stay on paved surfaces. And that's nice, but the bike's geometry itself kind of lends itself to taking it out on a dirt bike or a dirt road. So any stones thrown up from the wheel will be hitting the bash plate, or that's a radiator, and that's the starter motor for the engine. It does not have a big sump or a deep sump or a wet sump. Looks like it's got a dry sump lubrication system worked out on it. And in no particular order, because I'm just trying to capture all my experience here. That's basically all my observation on the bike. Lastly, suspension, really nice. Going over imperfections on the road. We have a couple of railways here to go through. I know that's not off-roading, but for the compression and the behavior of the suspension, really nice. It's soft and squishy or plush. A couple of more features. Frame is steel, alloy steel frame on it. That's welded. You can see the welds. How that works in a dirt and off-road environment is that this is subject to corrosion, scratching, and there's just a thin layer of paint that's protecting the steel. However, if you do have a major problem and if it needs to be welded in the field, it is possible because it's weldable steel. The foot pegs have these inserts that come out, and then it's grippy on the side. The brake and the shifter on the other side are made, instead of cast aluminum, it's made of mild steel, stamped out of mild steel and just painted black. It's really easy to, if this gets bent, it's really easy to bend it back. It's not going to snap in half or break off like on my Kawasaki Ninja, for example, where I have cast components for shifter and brake. So you can see the same design idea here. So these components here lend themselves to making use of this bike's potential off-road, actually seeing some dirt trails, and definitely not doing circus stunts with it or 30-foot jumps, but some off-roading. So not just how BMW advertises it, but urban adventure and just go on the pavement. So the bike is fitted with components that will enable you to do more than just staying on the paved surfaces. I especially like the big, strong cast aluminum luggage rack here at the tail end. That's how this looks like. The motorcycle is chain driven. That's gonna need a lot of TLC, but they wanted to keep the costs down instead of a miniature shaft drive on it. So there. And lastly, I like the plastic parts protecting the springs from overspray, double-sided swing arm, so that adjustment can be done nicely, symmetrically. So that's basically all my on-the-spot, unscripted, unplanned observations on the GS. I like the bike so much so that I think I'm just gonna get myself one.